Hello, and welcome again to our Translation Talks podcast. In this episode, we invited expert from our university. Let's get started.
Hello, Mr. Sayed. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, so my name is Sayed Muhammedyar. I'm an interpreter, translator, and senior teacher.
What inspired you to choose translation as your profession?
So actually I came to this profession by, let's say, accident. So when I was just graduating from my school, I got high score in our unified national testing, but then I couldn't get that scholarship because of poor decision in choosing that professions. Later on, I decided that I need to learn English, so I chose this profession as a way to improve my English. But later on, I discovered that it is a really good profession, that I'm capable of translation and translating books, texts. So I chose it as my profession.
It's really interesting, and let's hear Mr. Sayed's opinion about our topic, how to find clients in translation field.
Comparing with like 10 years or maybe 20 years, of course I wasn't active 20 years ago, but I've heard from my older colleagues. During that period, you would scroll down some newspapers for some advertisement and also use networking to get clients. Right now, we are doing the same thing. Of course, we both rely on our previous clients, on our friends who work in that industry, and also now we have a great tool which is a social network like Facebook or LinkedIn, or as a professional groups where you can see posts from some different agencies who are hiring for interpreter or translator. You could use all different channels to get your orders.
So the last question to our expert is, how important is networking in the translation industry?
Actually, it's really important because over half of my, let's say, projects I got from my friends and other people whom I get in touch with because of that kind of networking, and who know that I'm really good translator, who knows from my previous jobs. So this kind of networking helps you to find good jobs. For example, let's say there was my dean when I was working at Kazakh Ablahan University. She said that there was a company called the National Bureau of Translation. At that time, they were working in the project called 100 Textbooks in Kazakh. And they said that they were looking for a translator. And that's how I got involved in that project. And here I met with the editor Nazgul Khojabek. And later on, there was a project with there was a publishing house called Steppenwoldt, and they were hiring translators for translating Harry Potter books. And exactly that editor, Nazgul Khojabek, was working at that agency, and she saw my resume, CV, and she said that I know him, he is a really good translator, so we can hire him for that job. So that kind of networking can help you to get job in some particular situations. Of course, it doesn't mean that if you have no networking, you won't get jobs. No, you can use different channels, as I mentioned before, to get some jobs.
Thank you, Mr. Sayed, for your opinion. I think it's really good to hear advices from experts, and we can use it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sayed, for joining us on our podcast. Everything you shared was incredibly valuable, not only for us, but also for our audience. Your experience is truly impressive. Translating a book by such a renowned author as Joanne Rowling is undoubtedly worthy of great respect. It was a pleasure listening to you, and we sincerely appreciate your time.
Thank you.
This podcast series focused on translation, business communication, and finding clients in these fields. In the first episode, you listened to students who shared with their opinions, while the second featured an expert who shared their journey of finding work in the industry and the practical tips for client acquisition. Hope this podcast was interesting and helpful for you. See you soon.